Hey everyone, Corey here, and I'm hanging out by the smokers today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get your S1 and Breezo hooked up to Wi-Fi the right way. If you've ever had any trouble getting connected, or you just want to make sure your setup's dialed in, stick around. I'll walk you through the whole step-by-step process, and I'll even share a few tips and tricks I've picked up along the way. Now before we dive in, let's talk real quick about the different Wi-Fi setups we've seen. Some folks have dual band routers where both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz share the same network name. That's called a smart connector or band steering. The router automatically decides which band your device connects to. Sounds great in theory, but this is where most users run into issues. Devices like the S1 can only connect to 2.4 gigahertz, and when your phone handles that setup, that handshake between the two can confuse the process. The app might say something like timed out or unable to connect, even though your Wi-Fi looks fine. If that's happening to you, don't worry. I'll show you exactly how to get around it so your S1 connects clean and stays solid. All right, let's head over to the computer and I'll walk you through the entire step-by-step process. So stick around.
All right, so for this demo, I'm using my AT&T BGW 320-505. It's a modem and router combo from AT&T Fiber. What you first need to do is go ahead and open up a browser. Right here, I'm using Safari, and we're going to type in our default IP address of the device. For most of your AT&T devices, it should be 192.168.1.254. And this will bring you to your device login page. I'm already logged in. And once you're logged in, we're going to go ahead and click Home Network in the top. After that, we're going to get a new menu, and now we're going to go down here to Wi-Fi. We're going to click on Wi-Fi, and that's going to take us to our home Wi-Fi page. For my setup, I'm going to go ahead and click Advanced Options. And this is going to display our 2.4 and 5 gigahertz configurations and also our guest configuration. Now, here's the thing. On AT&T gateways, there isn't a Smart Connect button or toggle. The feature is automatically enabled when your 2.4 gigahertz band and your 5 gigahertz band share the same name and password. It's only then that the gateway merges them into one combined network. That's what Smart Connect is doing behind the scenes. To disable Smart Connect, all you need to do is give your 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz networks different names. So as you can see here, my 2.4 is ChefsTemp. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, my 5 gigahertz is also ChefsTemp. So if I want to disable my Smart Connect, we're just going to go ahead and change the names. We're going to change this to 5G. And we'll change this one to 2.4G. Make it real simple. Then we're going to click Save. We're going to go ahead and get a warning. And that warning is just letting us know that because the names are different, that the technology called beamforming or Smart Connect is not going to be optimized. And that's okay. We want to go ahead and continue because we're separating the networks at this point. All right, so our change has been saved. So now our 2.4 gigahertz is renamed and our 5 gigahertz is renamed. So now the Smart Connect is disabled. So if you want to go ahead and press on with connecting your ChefsTemp devices, you can. Now, if you're somebody who likes to utilize the Smart Connect, you can go ahead and rename these back to the same thing. Click Save again and enable Smart Connect. We'll go ahead and do that now. Got our ChefsTemp and ChefsTemp. Going to go ahead and save and continue again. So now our Smart Connect is re-enabled. And so for those of you that want to go ahead and keep the Smart Connect, maybe it works better in your house, you can. Another option is we go ahead and create our own guest network that will be utilized for just 2.4 gigahertz IoT devices, right? So what you do is you come down here to your guest SSID, and we're going to go ahead and enable that. I'm going to turn it on. All right, we're going to go ahead and do internet and home LAN. This way we can go ahead and communicate with everything on the network. And then I named this one ChefsTemp IoT just to make it a little bit easier, and then gave it the exact same password as the rest of them. Now we're going to go ahead and click Save and continue. All right, so now we have our Smart Connect enabled, but we also have our guest SSID that we can use for all of our devices that only use 2.4 gigahertz. I just wanted to take an opportunity real quick to point out that depending on what type of device you're using, you might have a router modem combo, or you might have a router and a modem separate device. So here is a quick look at my ASUS router that I have at the house. And you might have this, you might not, but here's our toggle switch for our enabling Smart Connect. I don't have it turned on because I don't prefer it, but you might have a device that utilizes it. So here's just a quick example of what it could look like. Now that we got our Wi-Fi configured, you can go ahead and grab your phone, iPad, or your Android device and connect it to your updated network. Once you're connected, open the ChefsTemp app. This is where you'll start the pairing process, which we'll walk through next. All right, guys, now that we've set up the guest Wi-Fi network to ensure that our 2.4 gigahertz devices can connect seamlessly, we're going to go ahead and set up our S1 on the new network. So go ahead and power on your S1, open up your app on either your iPad, iPhone, or Android. I'm using my iPad today. So once I get the app open, you're going to go ahead and navigate to the three dots in the top right corner, select My Connections, and then scroll to the bottom and scan for ChefsTemp devices. We're going to select ProTemp S1. We're going to click Next, and then we need to activate Bluetooth. So we're going to go ahead and hold that top left button on the device itself until we get the C1. And we're going to go ahead and click Next. Let it scan and do its thing. All right, we've got our C2 successfully connected, and now we need to go ahead and set up our Wi-Fi. All right, two options here. You can either go ahead and type the name of the Wi-Fi right there, but if you're already connected using your iPad, iPhone, or Android device, you can go ahead and click the little magnifying glass with the Wi-Fi symbol, and that'll load it in there for you. So now all you need to do is type in your password. It's going to go through, it's going to search, and then it's going to connect. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward just to minimize the time spent on this. All right, there you go, guys. We've got setup is success 100%. We can go ahead and start cooking. All right, and there we go. You can see our device. It's not going to display anything because obviously it's not in the base right now. But we can go in and go to my connections. You can see that it's in there now. We're going to change that name just to show. Make that number 3. KJ for my Kamado Joe. Check our firmware. Firmware is up to date, version 34. And you are good to go.